Florida, police in Bal Harbour are investigating after a Jewish family said men in an SUV shouted anti-Semitic slurs at them. While over in Illinois, two people shattered a synagogue window in Skokie. Officers at the scene found a broken stick and a Freedom for Palestine sign on the ground just under the window. In Tucson, Arizona, the synagogue of the former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords was vandalized. And in California, the U.S. Marshals joined local authorities in arresting a man in L.A. As one of the main suspects in an attack on several Jewish men outside of a restaurant. Police there also investigating two other incidents last week as possible anti-Semitic hate crimes. I cannot believe all that I am reading. Overall, the Anti-Defamation League says it has gotten more than 190 reports of possible anti-Semitic incidents in the United States in the week after fighting began between Israel and Hamas. That is up from 131 incidents the week prior. The ADL also says anti-Semitic attacks are increasing online with more than 17,000 tweets using variations of the phrase, ready for this one? Hitler was right. That's from May 7th to May 14th. Gives you chills just hearing it. Stephanie Gosk is in New York with the latest, and Joanna Mendelson is the Associate Director for the Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism. Steph, what can you tell us about the investigation into the attack in Times Square?
Yeah, sure, Steph. This was two dueling protests last week here in Times Square. You had one pro-Palestinian group protesting, another pro-Israeli group protesting. And during those protests, this 29-year-old Jewish man was attacked by a gang of men yelling slurs at him, kicking him, punching him. One man was hitting him with a crutch. He said, looking back at the video that was actually captured by someone with a phone during the whole event, he thought he may have been killed during it. There's been one arrest so far. A man that's been arrested on multiple charges, including an alleged hate crime. And the police say they're looking for other suspects. You know, in this country, we have such strong political, personal ties to the Middle East, both with a large Jewish population and a large Muslim population. We have seen in the past, when there's conflict over there, that things erupt over here. You now have, as you pointed out, the Anti-Defamation League has crunched the numbers here and has seen a 50% increase since the violence kicked off yet again in the Middle East. You also have the head of the Muslim Public Affairs Council in Los Angeles coming out and condemning the violence against both Muslims and Jews in this country. He's calling it despicable. And he says that that kind of reaction to what's going on in the Middle East isn't going to help anybody's cause, Steph.
Joanna, the ADL sent a letter to the White House. What action do you want the president to take? Yes, he's calling these things despicable, reprehensible. He wants them to stop. But what do you want him to do?
So in each moment in which we see these anti-Semitic incidents take place across the country, we need our leaders to use their bully pulpit to speak out vociferously, directly, and immediately to denounce this type of hate. We welcome the tweet today from President Biden, but we issued a letter over the weekend, along with 4 other Jewish organizations, asking Biden to forcibly speak out against this growing trend. We need leaders, as we've seen in the previous administration, when there is a vacuum, when we have leaders who are not willing to use their voice to create guardrails of what is acceptable in this country. It allows hate to fester. And until then, we'll continue to have a problem here in this country. And so we ask President Biden, use your voice, appoint an ambassador at large to monitor and combat anti-Semitism, reestablish a White House liaison to represent the Jewish community's issues and concerns. And sadly, Jews around the country, as you've noted, in terms of the rise of anti-Semitic incidents, 2019, we saw the highest year on record since we've been tracking anti-Semitic incidents. And last year, although we were grateful for a 4% increase, a 4% decrease, this is the largest, the third largest incident in the last, since 1979 that we have on record. So we need to address this.
Joanna, you're asking the White House to speak out against this. What do we do when it's government leaders who are the ones spreading it? Republican colleagues are describing their own colleague Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, they're saying her comments are beyond reprehensible. I want to share, and we almost never share any of the things that she says, but I want to share what she said about House rules around mask wearing. Listen to this.
We can look back in a time in history where people were told to wear a gold star, and they were definitely treated like second-class citizens, so much so that they were put in trains and taken to gas chambers in Nazi Germany. And this is exactly the type of abuse that Nancy Pelosi is talking about.
Joanna, as a general rule, our goal in this hour is to help our viewers get better and smarter. Nothing we have ever heard Marjorie Taylor Greene would fall into that category. However, when she says something like this, how dangerous, how detrimental can it be?
So we're talking about a health crisis in our country, and her comparison to the Holocaust, this parallel, is not only inappropriate, but it is offensive. And these comparisons that peddle in exaggeration and deflection essentially trivialize the Holocaust. They desensitize us to a mass genocide that took place here in our world, in Nazi Germany. And rather, we encourage her to legislate and stop politicizing Jewish trauma for her own purposes.
6 million Jews were killed. Let's remind our audience of that. Joanna, Stephanie, thank you both so much.